What's going on? It's your man, Mr. Controversy here, representing the 3-point conversion. Did you miss me? And yes, this is my NFL diary. Week 14. We're going into week 14, everybody. But first of all, before we go, or we're talking about week 14, before we get into that, I got to give a big shout out to Mr. Greg Turner for the song, him flowing on the track. And of course, I got to thank Sharon Beats for making the music. You know how we get down. We doing it like that, big people. So, again, week 14. Interesting week, like always. A lot of heartache, again, especially for me, Bears fan. I can't believe I'm wearing the shirt. I wasn't putting on the jersey. Lucky I'm wearing the shirt. What else happened? A lot of close games, surprises, counterfeit teams. So look, let's get to it. And you know how we do it. We got to play this music. And first of all, shout out to everybody that's listening, to everybody that's been faithful, listening and sharing and liking. I appreciate you. Oh, and keep it up because we have Mr. Crazy Wabbit. That's his name, Crazy Wabbit, coming out with a show on a 3-point conversion station called Intentional Grounding. Yes, you want to listen to that because it's going to be crazy. It will debut this Friday. He's going to get into sports his way, talk about why you should be informed on who's right or who's wrong. He'll give his 2 cents, or should I say 3 cents. It's 3-point conversion. And also, he's checking out Mr. Sharon Beats. He will have his own show, just playing music, just for you to groove to, listen to while you're in the car, you in the house, wherever you at. You can groove to some nice music from Mr. Sharon Beats because you know he does the music. And since we're talking about music, let's get this started. Let me go ahead and put my music on. Let me get started. All right. Okay. So, another crazy week. So usually I always talk about counterfeit teams. We're going to get into that. Who's getting too much credit? Also, I want to talk about the playoff picture. Who's getting in and who's getting out for both conferences. And then Antonio Brown, a beast, right? I'm going to tell you why he's not the best receiver in the NFL, or who is the best receiver in the NFL. So let's get to the counterfeit teams. So I only have 2 this week. First, the Denver Broncos, counterfeit. Come on, Denver. You're playing against the Oakland Raiders. Okay, I know. This is not the same Oakland Raiders. I get that. But at the same time, you're playing against the Oakland Raiders in Denver. You're not playing in Oakland. I can see if you was playing in a black hole. You playing in Denver. Come on, man. Brock Osweiler, supposed to be the second coming. Supposed to be this guy who just basically is going to save the day for Denver. No. Now, finally he plays a game where they should win, and they don't. The Denver, they played okay. I mean, the defense, they played okay. But the offense looked horrible. Bebe dropping passes, Demaryius Thomas, Bebe, you know what I'm calling him. You know his nickname. Man, running game not there anymore. What happened to the running game? I told y'all he was getting too much credit. Why did I tell you he was getting too much credit? The running game. Look what happened. So now he's forced to go back and throw the ball. And true enough, his line wasn't blocking, but at the same time, making careless mistakes. Like a young player, which he is. But you had a chance, Denver, to be the number 1 seed at home against the Oakland Raiders. Counterfeit. All right, my next counterfeit team, the Buffalo Bills. Counterfeit. Yes, I'm calling him counterfeit. Many of y'all probably called him that already. But why am I calling him a counterfeit? This is why I'm calling him counterfeit. Rex Ryan, he's blown too many calls or games by horrible calls or horrible play calling, not calling timeouts when he needed to call a timeout, dumb plays. I mean, he's probably cost the Bills 2 or 3 losses himself. Tyrod played nice, but you didn't have your running backs back. And I'm talking about the whole Buffalo Bills team. He did all that talking, yeah. And they didn't really bottle him up, but they bottle everybody else up. Come on, man. Y'all got to play for Shady. Antonio Watkins looking nice, balling, looking like that top receiver he was supposed to be. And I give him credit because he's doing it. But the defense, y'all not coming through. Nah, I mean, you make plays here and there, but when it comes down to making a big play, the play that you need to win the game, you don't do it. Well, you did last week because you got that big sack, Mario Williams. Credit to you. But the offense, you played against the Philadelphia Eagles defense, and you did nothing. You did nothing. This is the worst passing defense in the league. You did nothing. Counterfeit. All right. So, you know how I always do. I always have to talk about who's getting too much credit. Carson Palmer is getting too much credit. Again, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve credit, but he's getting too much credit. Why do I say that? Your defense is balling, man. Keep you in games. Yes, you're making the throws, but look, you have these receivers. First of all, you have the best hands in the NFL in Larry Fitzgerald. Then you got these speedy guys who's making spectacular catches. Look at Michael, I can't think of his name. Number 15. I can't think of his last name. But look at what he's doing. Making those diving catches, jumping up in the air, catching it while he's doing a flip. You know how he does, man. I mean, big plays. Then you got the speedy guy, number 12, Mr. Johnson. I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. Can't stop him. He get the ball 5 yard out, take it to the house, making you look good. And that's what receivers supposed to do. But Carson, you're getting too much credit. Your running backs coming in, playing a heck of a game. And I understand why you're getting too much credit, because you went through your second ACL, or was it, it was an ACL, MCL. This is the second one in your career. All of these injuries, you played and look horrible in Oakland. I get it. I understand why you get too much credit, but you're getting too much credit, sir. All right. So now let's get into these playoffs. So we're going to talk about the AFC because it's getting interesting. Right now, with the playoff picture, we have New England at the top of the conference, number 1. The Bengals, number 2. Might change, but the funny thing is Denver going to act right? With Bengals, the injuries with the quarterback and Dalton being hurt, probably being out for the season, and they say he might come back playoffs. He's saying he's coming back week 17. Okay, but still, don't know, man, if you're going to hang on to that second spot. But right now, Denver has a 3rd seed. But then you look at Denver's schedule, Denver has to play Steelers. It's a loss. The Bengals would have been a loss. And honestly, you still don't know, because what is Peyton going to do when he comes back? Yes, Peyton's coming back. So is Peyton going to be Peyton or be – as long as he just be Pate, that's all he needs to be. Just don't be horrible. Just be Pey. come in, don't make too many turnovers, let your defense win the game. You can beat the Bengals, but the Bengals can do the same thing because they have a great defense. It's going to be a tough game. And then you have the Chargers, which you should win. I'm scared of an upset, but you should win. KC, Kansas City Chiefs, they have the 5th spot right now. And their schedule is Ravens, Browns, Raiders. They should win all 3 of those games. Why do I mention them first instead of talking about Indy? Because KC might mess around and take the 3rd seed. Might take the 2nd seed. We don't know. Indianapolis, they're 6-7. Houston, they're 6-7. Jaguars won, I think, 4 games, or 5 games. I don't think Jaguars are going to win anything. They look good though. Borders look good, but I'm giving this. I give it to Houston. Well, you know what? I don't know, man. This division, sorry, but the thing is, if Luck comes back and Luck regain his luck, he regains his luck and regain that aura that we gave him that he had before this season. Indy should win this division easily. But man, I don't know. You just never know. I mean, Houston played a tough team in New England. They got Gronk back, but Houston, they look nice too. Their defense is playing pretty well, and the offense is clicking besides last night. It's going to be tight race, but I'm going to give it a nod to Indy. I'll give it to them. So your 6th seed is the New York Jets. Sorry, but they don't make it because the Jets have to play Dallas, which they should beat Dallas in Dallas, but they have to play New England. They play them at home. I don't see them losing. New England, I don't see them losing. Then they go to Buffalo. And for some reason, I just have a feeling that Jets won't be able to beat Buffalo. I think Rex Ryan will own this rivalry, if you want to call it a rivalry. So I see them out, which means Pittsburgh gets in. They beat Cincy, and I said it last week. If they beat Cincy, and then this week coming up, they play Denver, I told you it's a wrap. Pittsburgh, don't be surprised if Pittsburgh gets to the AFC Championship. As a matter of fact, if they get inside the playoffs, Mr. Controversy said it, they're going to the AFC Championship. Yep. Now, the NFC. NFC is pretty much wrapped up. You know, we have Carolina, number 1 seed. They're going to get that. Arizona, they're going to get the number 2 seed. Number 3 right now is Green Bay. See that coming. That's easy. Number 4 seed. This is when it gets tricky. Washington Redskins. Right now, the number 4 seed, yeah. Well, or the Giants number 4? They're 6-7. The Eagles are 6-7. So let's look at the schedule. All right. NFC. The Giants play Carolina. I know I've been hating on Carolina, and really I haven't been hating on them. You know, you just don't expect a team to go 16-0. You just don't. I mean, it's only one team in my lifetime has done it. So just don't expect them to go 16-0. So this might be the game I see Carolina losing because Giants play at home. Then they play Washington. That's going to be a close game, but that's a winnable game. And then I see the Eagles as a win for the Giants as well. I mean, it's not easy, but I say Giants win 2 out of those 3. And I think they might lose to Washington. I said they will beat Washington. They might lose to Washington. Or if they lose to Carolina, they're going to beat Washington Eagles. But I have them winning 2 out of the 3 games. Washington's schedule, they play Buffalo, Eagles, and Dallas. They probably got the easiest schedule, but I see them losing to Buffalo, the counterfeit team. But still, they have the easiest schedule, so they should get in. I just don't. I don't think so. And I take that back. I'm sorry. Giants don't play Washington. Giants play the Eagles, Vikings. Sorry about that. I'll correct myself. Vikings, Eagles, and Carolina. And I'll get to the Vikings later. And the Eagles play Arizona, Redskins, and the Giants. They might lose all three of those games. So don't see the Eagles getting in. For some reason, I think the Giants are going to get in. Even though Washington has an easy schedule, I think they will fold, and I think the Giants get in. I don't trust Gruden and his coaching staff right now. I just don't. So the fifth seed right now, Seattle has that wrapped up. We all know that. And if they get in, I have them going to the NFC Championship. Because Seattle played the Cleveland Browns, the St. Louis Rams, and then they play Arizona. All winnable games. And last but not least, the sixth seed, the Minnesota Vikings, 8-5. Their record, 8-5. Remember that, 8-5. But I still have them not making the playoffs. Yes, I don't have them making the playoffs because they will lose all three. They play the Chicago Bears in Minnesota. That should be a winnable game. But Chicago has won 4 out of their 6 road games. They can't win at home, but they play well on the road. And pretty much every game they lost came down to either the last play or the last drive. So I just have Minnesota losing. I just don't think they do it. So they're going to lose to the Bears. Then they play the Giants. I have Giants beating the Vikings in New York. And then they have to go and play the Packers. Last game of the season. That can decide either because if Arizona loses twice, if they do, or if they lose one before they play Seattle, the last game of the season, that might give Green Bay an incentive to play hard and to go for that second spot, go for that first round bye. So I have the Vikings losing to the Packers. So who's going to get in? Tampa. They play the Rams. That's a winnable game. They play the Bears. That's a winnable game. And they play Carolina. But I see the Bears lose. I see Bears. Tampa Bay might beat the Bears, but I see them losing to Carolina, unless Carolina has everything wrapped up. So Tampa Bay can get in. Falcons. I'm not even going to speak on the Falcons because they're not getting in. It's a wrap for them. So who does that leave? Another NFC East team? Nah, they're going to beat each other up. The Chicago Bears, who don't, that shouldn't deserve a chance to get in the playoffs. But they played 2 of their last 3 games on the road, which I said are 4-6 on the road. They don't play horrible because every game's been close. Just don't leave it up to Robbie Gould. Might need to go, Robbie. But they play Minnesota, which I said Minnesota's going to lose all 3. So I see Chicago beating Minnesota. They play Tampa. Tampa should beat Chicago, but with a young quarterback, inexperienced team, Chicago might win. And then Chicago Bears play the Detroit Lions. See them losing again. Detroit Lions. They suck. I said it. They suck. So, who I have in the AFC? Again, New England. I'm going to stick with the Bengals. Somehow they get number 2 spot. Chiefs going to get number 3. Broncos number 4. Who else? No, I'm sorry. Indy's going to get number 4. Kansas City number 5. And Pittsburgh number 6. NFC, Carolina number 1. Arizona number 2. Green Bay the 3rd seed. Then the Giants, the 4th seed. Seattle, number 5. And anybody but Vikings, number 6. I'm sorry. Pick one. You can say Tampa Bay. Pick one. It doesn't matter. All right. So now let me finish this. Before I leave, I have to break something down. Antonio Brown has been the best receiver in the NFL for the last 2 years, except for now. He is no longer the best receiver in the NFL. Yeah, I said it. I know you're looking at the radio, your headphones, whatever, like I'm crazy. Reason why I say that is because I have Odell Beckham as the best receiver in the game. He might be flashy, I know, but why is he the best receiver in the game? Odell Beckham has probably, besides Larry Fitzgerald, the best hands in the NFL. So his hands are better than Antonio Brown. Antonio makes some great catches, though. Odell Beckham has the best hands in the NFL. I'm not talking about the one-hand catch. That was okay. But if you look at all his catches, the catch he did tonight where he dragged both feet in the end zone, that was ridiculous. But then look at the offense. Pittsburgh's offense is basically a new version of the run and shoot. Because all you're doing is lining up 3 to 4 wide and go. That's how it is. Where the Giants, they're running the ball. You know, they throw short. They target Odell a lot, but not as much as they target Antonio Brown. But then on top of that, look at Antonio Brown and his wide receiving core. You have Martavius Bryant. You also have Marcus Wheaton. You still got a nice tight end in Heath Miller. And as much as he targets Antonio Brown, because they throw 500 times a game, everybody else get targets as well. The defense, you can't really double or triple team Antonio Brown because why? You're going to leave Martavius Bryant open. You're going to leave Wheaton open. Or Heath will kill you. It's like choose your poison. True, you'd rather have them beat you the others, but they don't play like others. They all can be. I know Martavis could be a number 1 receiver on another team. Wheaton will be a number 2 on another team. Heath is nice, but look at Odell. If you're not a Giants fan, or you're not a fan of the NFC East teams, who's the other receiver besides Hakeem Nicks, who they just signed? That's all you know. Come on, man. Nah. So you know Odell's getting the ball. He's getting double, triple. The whole defense is predicated on where he is. And he's still blowing by people, still getting touchdowns, going for 160 yards and 150 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns, the 89-yard touchdowns, however you want to call it or whatever it is. So, yes, Odell Beckham is the best receiver in the NFL. Yes, he's flashy. He might get on your nerves. But he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. Take a picture, write it down. I don't give a... no, I ain't going to go there. But anyway, so that concludes my NFL diary. Once again, I want to thank everyone for listening. I ask you to please share, please like, please listen. Well, if you heard that, you're listening. So, but anyway, shouts out to Mr. Mike Patton. Hey, man, I shouted y'all probably 3 times. But I just want to say, man, I appreciate you doing the 3-point conversion sports lines with me. And speaking of that, yes, we do have some great shows on this podcast station. We have, of course, you're listening to Mr. Controversy's NFL Diary. Also, the 3-point conversion sports lounge, which airs on Saturday. We have Sports and Nonsense by Big TJ, which airs on Tuesday. Guess he shares it on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, whenever he feels like it. Great show. Also, we have Talking Bears Outside the Locker Room by yours truly, Mr. Controversy, and Mr. C Dub, Quasi the Crazy Rabbit. And then we have another show. Yes, it's debuting on Friday. Intentional Grounding by the Crazy Rabbit. Also, don't forget, make sure you check out Mr. Sherm. You listen to his music right now. He's coming up with his own live hour where he's going to play music, play cuts from the cuts that he came up with, that he made, his artists. Good, clean music, some good music, maybe some cleaning up music, some dancing music, some with your lady music. Whatever your advice is, you're going to hear it. So anyway, make sure you follow me, Mr. Controversy 21 on Twitter. Also, check out the YouTube channel, the 3-Point Conversion YouTube channel. Check out the 3-Point Conversion website where you can go and find that on the 3pointconversion.com. And also download the Spreaker app and follow follow the 3-Point Conversion station where you'll see Mr. Controversy, Big TJ, Sherm Beats, and the Crazy Rabbit. So once again, you know what time it is. Same time, same place, same person. Will you miss me? I'm out.